So, because in the previous lesson we have talked about adjectives, yes? And now you know about adjectives. And in this lesson, we will learn about adverbs. And at the end of the lesson, you will be able to use adverbs in your sentence, and you will be able to make up dialogues using adverbs. And at the end of the term, we have tests according to this theme. So now pay attention attentively and try to be ready for the test. Okay?
Yes.
Now I'll show you a video about adverbs, and after the video we discuss. Okay?
Yes. For kids, what is an adverb? By Teaching Without Frills. Parts of speech are different types of words we use when we speak and write. There are 8 main parts of speech: nouns, verbs, adjectives, adverbs. An adverb is a word that describes a verb, an adjective, or another adverb. Adverbs often help answer the questions how, when, where, and to what extent. Let's look at some of the different types of adverbs and learn how we use them. Many adverbs describe verbs by telling how an action happens, like quickly running, peacefully sleeping, or talking loudly. Do you notice something about these 3 adverbs? Oh yeah, they all end in ly. Quick, peaceful, and loud are all adjectives that can describe nouns. But when we want to describe a verb, we often add an ly on the end to create an adverb. Can you think of some other adverbs that end in ly? Adverbs can also describe when or how often something happens. These are words like now, then, tomorrow, always, never, and sometimes. We can use these words to describe verbs or adjectives, like walking now, or always happy. Can you think of any other adverbs that describe when or how often something happens? Adverbs can also answer the question where. Words such as inside, outside, here, there, up, and down can be used as adverbs to tell where something happens, like look up or come here. Can you think of any other adverbs that can describe where something happens? Finally, you can use adverbs to answer to what extent. These are adverbs like barely, almost, very, and extremely. These adverbs can describe verbs like almost crying, or they can modify adjectives like extremely hot, or they can even describe other adverbs like very quickly. Can you think of some other adverbs that might answer the question to what extent? Now let's see if you can find the adverbs in the following sentence. Yesterday, we very carefully planted pretty flowers outside. Here.
So, where is that one in this sentence? Which one?
Very.
Very and
For
pretty? No, it's not.
outside.
Yes, very carefully, and what outside is also a verb. Yes, now we'll continue.
Here's a hint. There are 4 adverbs in this sentence. Pause here to think, or keep watching to hear the answer. Yesterday is an adverb that tells when we planted the flowers. Carefully describes how we planted the flowers. Very describes to what extent we were careful. And outside describes where we planted the flowers. The word pretty is not an adverb. It's an adjective because it describes a noun, flowers. So how can you use adverbs in your own writing? Listen to this boring sentence. The dog wagged his tail and jumped.
So, what do you think about this sentence? Agent.
Jumper.
No. Is there anything? Adverb? Now we'll see.
How can you add some adverbs to this sentence to make
You
it
should
more
add
detailed
adverb.
and interesting? Pause here to think, or keep watching for some ideas. There are many ways you could add adverbs to this sentence. You might say the dog happily wagged his tail and jumped up and down. Or maybe the dog always wagged his tail and jumped excitedly. So remember, adverbs are words we use to describe verbs, adjectives, and other adverbs. They help answer questions like how, when, where, and to what extent. You detailed and interesting. Check out the other videos in this series to learn more about.
Okay, because I have finished the video. Do you like this video?
Yes.
I think you like it. Okay, now in this video we have learned some questions which can be given to adverbs. What kind of questions we have learned? What kind of questions? Okay, Faruk?
How?
How? Very good. Shahla?
When?
Very good. Abdurrahman?
Where?
When?
To what extent?
To what extent? Very good. Can you give me an example for how? What kind of adverbs can be answered to how?
She is happy every day.
She smiles happily, yes? Okay, very good. It can be answered to how. And can you tell me any adverbs which can be answered to the question where? Where?
Where?
Can you say me? So I have asked about where. Can you say?
I live here.
Yes, it can be answered to the question where. And what about when? Who can give me an example for when? Abdurrahman, can you?
Alex.
Always? Yes, it can be. And now in this time, people, you should write sentence using any kind of adverbs. Doesn't matter what kind you have used, but you should make a sentence using them. Okay? Begin now, writing. I think your sentence is ready, yes?
Yes.
So who wants to read? Feruza?
She sings loudly.
She sings loudly, yes, very good.
She usually goes to school 8 o'clock.
At 8 o'clock, yeah? Uh-huh.
I always play football.
You always play football, good.
I'm reading now.
I'm reading now, good.
The cat sleeps peacefully.
Peacefully, good. So, do you want to say anything?
I'm reading no.
Very good.
He is running
Quickly?
quickly.
Yeah, good. Son, do you have another sentence?
He sings loudly.
He sings loudly, very good, because I like your sentence. And do you understand the theme? Is it understandable? Yes? So, at home you should make a dialogue using these adverbs. Doesn't matter, you should use any kind of adverbs, and in the next lesson you should speak only your dialogue, okay? You will act out your dialogue also. Okay?
Yeah.
Yeah.